إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا والنساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد. We begin by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Him and we seek refuge from the evil that is within our own selves. And we bear witness to the fact that whoever Allah guides, none can mislead, and whoever is misled, none can guide except Allah. I bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah. He is alone and He has no partners. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is a slave and final messenger. Brothers and sisters, today it is a joyous occasion to be here in this community once again, alhamdulillah, this time in the month of Ramadan. And before I begin my Jummah khutbah today, I want to let you know that alhamdulillah, we have a guest with us who drove all the way from Dallas. Norberto is his name, and he is a Telemundo reporter. Many of you know one of the major Spanish news channels in America is Telemundo. And they are covering a story regarding the impact that Islam in Spanish is having, not only in America, but alhamdulillah, worldwide. So today we told him that we were here, and it was even closer for him to come from Dallas here today. So alhamdulillah, with that, we thank you for your patience, being that, mashallah, there's camera here and some lights. But he is a guest, alhamdulillah, for the first time. His son is coming into one of the houses of Allah. They were with our representative in Dallas yesterday, and we thank you for your patience. Second, whenever we carry out activities, we always go on Facebook Live. Facebook Live is the way that we communicate to so many people all over the world that may not even know what Islam is. So, the Facebook page of Islam in Spanish, usually people who go on there are people who are not Muslim living in Latin America in places that there's not even a mosque. There are people sometimes when we're speaking, they say, I live in Costa Rica, how can I become Muslim? I don't have any Muslims around me or any mosque. And we asked them, how do you want to become Muslim? They said, because we've been following you for 2 or 3 years. Every time you guys speak about Islam, that's how we learned. And alhamdulillah, these people, we go on to give them the shahada over Facebook Live. So, having said that, and being that my father is here, my father is 75 years old. He embraced Islam at the age of 57. His first language is Spanish, and his English is not that good. He can't understand all of it in English. So when I was not Muslim, I used to sit in the back of mosque, and I used to translate for him so that he would know what Islam was. And today I told him, because you're here, because we have Telemundo here, because we have so many people from so many places in Latin America, if you would be patient with us, inshallah, I would like to carry out this Jummah khutbah, some pieces of it that are a major insight regarding our deen in the Spanish language, inshallah. Is that okay with you? Alhamdulillah. It's the month of Ramadan. It is the month of Quran. Our book was revealed, a book for humanity. And inshallah, all of you hopefully get the reward of being able to share what is good within this book, because it was sent down for humanity. Hermanos y hermanas, hoy vamos a hacer este sermón parte en español. Tenemos aquí Norberto, que es un reportero de Telemundo con nosotros. Por acá está Abu Mujahid, mi papá, que acaba de cumplir 75 años. Y prefiere el idioma español para la khutbah el viernes. Y estamos en la mezquita de Woodlands, que es una mezquita al norte de nuestro centro islámico por ahí 1 hora. Y para aquellos de ustedes que nos sigan en Facebook Live en español en Latinoamérica, en sitios como Colombia, México, Costa Rica, sepan que la jutba de hoy va a ser algo en español, y las personas que están aquí quieren que les compartamos a ustedes toda la información que vamos a compartir en este sermón. Bismillah. Brothers and sisters, we stand, alhamdulillah, at the beginning of Ramadan, and every one of us know that when Ramadan begins, in a heartbeat, subhanAllah, it's gone. We think, mashallah, we prepare for Ramadan, we do whatever we do, even if we just go grocery shopping, and try to prepare how we're going to break our fast. But before we know it, it's gone. It's quick, it's fast. But that's the nature of the dunya. The nature of the dunya is something temporary, something of low quality, and something that moves really fast. And if any of us, as we age, we come to realize that at whatever age we're at, we're like, man, life passed us by so quick. We have a baby, and before we know it, they're walking and running, and they're not a baby anymore. So the nature of life itself is so fast. And Ramadan, brothers and sisters, is a ni'mah from Allah, it's a blessing from Allah. And this Jummah khutbah today is titled, Why This Ramadan? I want to focus this khutbah specifically on this Ramadan. Not just any other Ramadan, but this Ramadan in specific. Hermanos y hermanas, el Ramadán es el mes del ayuno para los musulmanes. Este mes, como cualquier mes de nuestra vida, se va corriendo rapidísimo, pero es la naturaleza del mundo. Este mundo es temporal, de baja calidad y se mueve muy rápido. Muchos de nosotros, mientras que pasan los años, nos damos cuenta que la vida se va rápido. Tenemos un bebé y de un momento a otro ya no son bebés. Están caminando y están corriendo a los 5, 10 años. Entonces la Jummah de hoy está titulada ¿Por qué este Ramadán? Allah Azza wa Jal begins by mentioning to us in His book, يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. In this ayah, brothers and sisters, I'm sure, alhamdulillah, as we were leading to Ramadan, even when starting Ramadan, maybe you heard this ayah. This is the ayah where Allah Azza wa Jal has prescribed fasting. As Allah Azza wa Jal mentions, O you who believe, Ya ayyuhan nas is to all of mankind. It's not just for the Muslims. I'm sorry. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu. It is only for the Muslims that have been prescribed to fast. The Quran is a general book for all of mankind, but it was only the believing men and women that were asked to fast. If we, following the Prophet ﷺ, thinking that we today are Muslim and we're the only ones fasting, we have to understand that the people who came before us also were ordered to fast. In this aspect of being a believer, being one who submits to the will of Allah, we include within the people who believed in the past, people who followed the footsteps of Isa alayhi salam, Jesus. People who followed the footsteps of Moses, Musa alayhi salam. People who followed the messengers. They were ordered to abstain from food and drink and to gain a sense of awareness of Allah. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. In the end of the ayah is where we really want to focus. لَعَلَّ has many different implications in the Arabic language, and we want to have some a tadabbur, some contemplation about this so that we become really intentional about this Ramadan in specific. Este verso del Corán, hermanos y hermanas, Allah menciona, o ustedes quienes hayan creído. Es decir, el Corán fue prescrito para toda la humanidad, pero específicamente para aquellas personas que creen y se someten a Dios. Se fue prescrito para ellos ayunar, abstenerse de la comida y de la bebida desde que sale el sol hasta que se oculta, para que tal vez obtengan taqwa. Taqwa es una de las palabras que vamos a ver en el idioma árabe, pero antes de eso la palabra la'alla. Esa palabra en árabe la vamos a diagnosticar mejor para poder ser más intencionales con este Ramadán esta vez. Brothers and sisters, this word la'alla has several different implications or meanings in the Arabic language. One of them may be, first of all, kutiba. It's not just that Allah wrote that we should fast. It's not kataba, it's kutiba. Kutiba is not only that he wrote it, but he wrote it similar to, like, you know how a doctor prescribes for you a medicine? It's been written, but it's been written with the intent to be a healing. And this has been prescribed, la'alla, so that perhaps, so that hopefully we gain taqwa. So the sense of la'alla doesn't guarantee that what Allah prescribed Ramadan for is 100% guaranteed that we will gain the full benefit. La'alla means that it was prescribed so that hopefully we gain its benefits. So that perhaps we may be able to gain some of the insight and awareness as to Allah Azza wa Jal. And it is no wonder that in this month is when He chose a night to reveal His book to all of mankind. So perhaps us reaching Ramadan this year, many people who we knew possibly did not reach Ramadan this year. Many of us here may not reach Ramadan next year. We can't take it for granted. The Sahaba used to wait after Ramadan, make dua that Allah accept their Ramadan. And 6 months prior, they used to make dua that Allah give them the ability to reach Ramadan. So it's a blessing that we are part of this Ramadan, so that perhaps we may gain benefit and obtain the healing that Allah prescribed Ramadan, so that perhaps we may reach a level of consciousness, submit to Him, obey Him, and perhaps we may purify our soul and cleanse whatever we've done before Ramadan of the major, minor sins. And with this month comes so many actions that can help us, alhamdulillah, rehabilitate our soul, our mind, our bodies. It is a complete, when your car is malfunctioning and you have to go and get a belt change and you got to do a whole tune-up. This is the tune-up of the Muslims. This is what Allah prescribed, and Allah Azza wa Jal hopes optimistically that we gain the benefit. Will we? It depends on us. Did Allah prescribe it and put things within it to benefit us? Yes. Will we take full advantage of that? We will try our best. And may Allah Azza wa Jal make us from a people who strive to seek for the height of perfection, even though we're not perfect, seeking to please Allah, the one who is perfect. Amén. Hermanos y hermanas, en este verso del Corán, donde Allah menciona que el ayuno ha sido prescrito, no solamente ha sido escrito, sino prescrito como una medicina para que ustedes obtengan lo que es taqwa. Taqwa es el conocimiento o el entendimiento de quién es Dios y la obediencia para poder ser sumiso a Él. De eso se trata Ramadán. La palabra la'alla en el idioma árabe quiere decir entonces para que tal vez ganen un poco de beneficio, para que tal vez lleguen a purificarse, porque Ramadán es una purificación, para que tal vez este Ramadán, si es el último de nosotros, Allah nos pueda dar el paraíso. ¿Cuántas personas no llegaron a este Ramadán que estaban vivos el año pasado? ¿Cuántos de nosotros tal vez no llegamos el próximo año? Los sahaba o acompañantes del profeta sallallahu alaihi wasallam, la paz sea con él, le pedían a Allah que aceptara el Ramadán de ellos hasta 6 meses después de pasar un Ramadán. Y pedían 6 meses antes de Ramadán, por favor a Allah que llegara a Ramadán. Entonces, si vamos a ganar el beneficio que está prescrito de Allah para nosotros en Ramadán, Allah nos da un optimismo para que ojalá lleguemos a ese tipo de conciencia. Y todo eso depende en nosotros. Que Allah Azza wa Jal nos haga entre la gente, que nos esmeremos a la perfección para la obediencia de Allah, entendiendo que no somos perfectos, tratando de servir al más perfecto. Amén. Brothers and sisters, there's a relationship between the issue of fasting and taqwa. The issue of taqwa comes from wiqaya, which is protection. It is to protect oneself. And if you look at the deen of Islam, it's amazing. You know, we weren't Muslim before, right? Many of you know, people such as myself, we didn't even know about the Quran. I found out the word Quran when I was 23 years old. I found out the word Muhammad when I was 23 years old. Peace be upon him. I found out the word Allah when I was 23 years old. Many of you from so many different Muslim countries, since you were a kid, maybe you heard the adhan. We didn't even know that there was something that existed called Islam. So imagine when it comes to Ramadan. In our center, about 45 minutes away from here in Southwest Houston, we had a rental place. We called it the Islamic Spanish Center, Islamic Spanish Islamic Center. In a little bit over 3 years, we witnessed 160 people embrace Islam. Alhamdulillah. And many of those people, this Ramadan is their very first. So if they look at Ramadan as something that only has to do with not eating and not drinking, it's just going to be a bunch of rules. If we look at our children and tell them, hey, don't eat, don't this, don't that, but we don't teach the spirit of Ramadan, the spirit of the Islamic law has so much more meaning than just rules. The structure is there in order for us to gain benefit. So we need rules, right? We need the lights, to turn red so that other people can go. Allah structured this deen, but it's not just rules. It is guidelines for guidance so that we can be, inshallah, of a people who benefit in this life and especially in the next. Taqwa, from wiqaya, from being a protection or to know how to protect oneself. Ramadan is all about strengthening your heart to be way stronger than your physical impulses, your nafs, your desires. If we can be strong enough in our hearts to know that when the sun goes up until it's sundown, our heart will tell our bodies that we will not eat or drink because we want to obey Allah's prescribed medicine on us, then the soul, the heart become a lot stronger, and before we know it, the issue of hunger, whatever happens to our throats being dry, the sort of breath that a fasting person can develop, all of these things become secondary to the obedience of Allah. In the rest of the year, our hearts may be a bit weaker and our desires may overcome. And even though we know that we shouldn't be doing certain things, we do them because the heart is weaker. But in Ramadan, whatever bad habits we have, whatever sin we know we're committing, we have the ability to go through a process of training the heart 30 days in a row. If we couldn't achieve something one day, the next day we try again, and we try again, and we try again. And subhanAllah, there's been research that shows that if you want to start a positive habit, or if you want to leave a bad habit, you need to have a repetition of that action for minimum 1 month. So Allah Azza wa Jal put in this deen the formula for success in this life and the next. And this is why fasting is tied into taqwa. And this is why whenever Ramadan or 30-day heart control becomes harder, becomes stronger, our